Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm just going to be sharing my process for how I go about making artworks that honor God and how I take those artworks and spread them on social media so that other people can be touched by the light of God. The good thing about this is that just about anybody from any skill level can go about doing this and start getting comfortable on social media, but more importantly, so that they can spread the hope and love of God to others online. And why I say that any skill level can do this is because a lot of the artworks we're going to be making are very lenient on being spiritual and using Bible verses and relying a lot on God and our life circumstances and mixing these all together. So it doesn't really matter too much how beautiful you can make the art piece. A lot of it is going to rely on spiritual symbolism and trying to reach others' hearts through our artwork. Because I know, for example, if without this and you're just relying on trying to make like you're relying on your value being how beautiful can I make an art piece, and you don't have the skill level to back it up, then we can't help you with that, right? So as a quick introduction, my name is Anthony. I created this channel originally to document my progress through art and social media, starting from zero, just having absolutely zero skills in either of those, and just trying to document my progress growing. But I took like about a year and a half off. I was going through a lot mentally. Eventually I found God, and now I have transitioned and I am resurrecting this channel pretty much to honor God and to call artists who also want to make artworks that honor God to grow spiritually with God, and to also grow artistically and to spread the love and light of God through our artworks. So if that sounds good to you, consider subscribing. And without further ado, let's get into my quick process of how I go about making these artworks. So the first thing I'll do is maybe I'll say a prayer asking God to be with me, to put something on my heart, to just guide me through this. I don't always do that. I did that a lot at the beginning because I just really felt like doing that. After that, I'll find like 1 or 3 Bible verses that really speak to me. It's depending on where I really am in my life. If I'm like afraid and I just need strength, I'll find Bible verses that really speak to that. If I'm feeling like worshiping and just praising God, then I'll make artworks that reflect that. If I'm just in a state of lamentations and the demons are just really in my ears and the enemy is just saying really awful things to me and trying to pull down my spirit, I'll look for Bible verses that will reflect that. So with those 1 or 3 Bible verses in mind, the next thing I will do is, if something doesn't just come to my mind naturally, what I'll do is I'll go on either Pinterest, YouTube, or Instagram, and I'll start looking for inspiration. A lot of the inspiration I'll look for is just like a composition that really speaks to me. So the first thing about making an artwork is you want to start from big to small. So you don't want to start with the details, right? You want to start with the big picture, and the big picture is the composition. So you have those Bible verses in mind, and now you have a composition. So you're starting to get an idea of where you want to take this artwork. And sometimes I won't just copy the composition entirely. Obviously, you take the composition and you add your own elements into it. But sometimes I'll take the composition from one thing, I'll take the composition from another thing, and I'll mix them together. Or I'll take the composition from from a image that I like, and I'll change the perspective around, or I'll just change some elements around as well. And at this point, I'll start gathering references. So I'll gather around like 5 to 7 references. So I have a reference, for like a gesture, for armor, for the colors that I want to use, obviously for the composition, and maybe the background as well. And maybe I'll have all sorts of different references for different pieces. And I'll just mash them all together. I'll have a reference for like the style that I want to use as well. And I don't always go about doing this in the same way. So I'll have like 5, 7, maybe even more tabs open on my computer as I'm drawing on my iPad. And I'll just flip through them and try my best to put them all together in a coherent way. I'll also start putting in the Bible verses into the artwork in a way that doesn't obstruct the composition of the artwork or obstruct any elements in the artwork as well. And then at the end, I will sign my artwork when I'm just about done with this little cool signature that I found from a signature generator. So you can get your own if you just look up signature generator. If you're in need of a cool artist signature, just go online and copy one. And next, for the social media part of it, I'll either go on the TikTok or Instagram editor. And each of these have their own pros and cons, unfortunately. For the TikTok one, the TikTok editor, the good thing about the TikTok editor is, personally, I find like the music recommendations are a lot better than the Instagram one. But more importantly, the TikTok editor gives you a lot more features for editing. But the drawback is that for some reason, TikTok, I guess for storage or for video efficiency reasons, it'll dial down the quality of your artwork. So, and you won't even know until you post it and you look at the artwork yourself, because on the editor, the artwork looks fine, but once you post it, the quality of the artwork just goes down. So, however, TikTok, while they don't have as many features, it's still enough features to get something out there. And the pros is that it actually does retain the quality of the image very well. So take that into consideration if you're making a beautiful art piece. And you want to keep the quality of it, use the Instagram editor. But if your art piece, it doesn't really matter too much how good the quality is, as long as the spiritual message is getting out there and you want to really utilize the features on TikTok, then I would recommend using the TikTok editor. So, and then when I'm about to post, I use very simple hashtags. Right now I can only use 5 hashtags. So I would just put something like Jesus, Lord, God, art, drawing, and maybe I'll also put something like a little bit out there, a little bit different than keeping it in that niche. I'll put something like, if there's a night in there, I'll put night, or I'll put like bravery, or I'll put something that's a little bit different but still relevant to the art piece, so that somebody who's not necessarily in like this Christianity niche will also find it. So, and while doing this, sometimes things do very well on like TikTok and don't do very well on Instagram, and sometimes it's the reverse. But for the most part, I find most of my success on TikTok. Like, I've gotten like 300 plus likes on an artwork on TikTok, but then on Instagram I'll get like maybe like 20 likes on it or something. Or I'll post something on Instagram and it will get like 20 plus likes, and then the next thing I post on there, it gets 0 views, not even 0 likes, but 0 views. And then, but then on TikTok it does very well. So I would recommend just using both of them, because if you're going to be making edits for one, you might as well just post on the other. And you're also going to learn a lot about social media doing this, and you're going to get comfortable with just posting your artworks and comfortable with little things that you may not really consider that you need to learn. Like, for example, I just needed to learn to get comfortable with posting something that flops, because sometimes I'll post something and it gets like, you know, again, like 300, 200, 100 likes on there, and then I'll post something else and it gets absolute like no traction whatsoever, and you have to like fight through the embarrassment to just keep it up there. But after a while, you kind of just get used to it. Like, you just don't care. You start posting it, and if it gets 0 likes, then oh well, you know, we do this to serve the Lord, and it doesn't really matter too much. The likes don't define us. But if it gets 300 likes, then awesome, right? We'll throw a party. And I just keep doing this over and over and over again. It used to take me about a week to finish an artwork and to like really get my style and to understand what I'm doing and to get comfortable with the editing software and all this other stuff that goes into it. And it used to take me about a week, but now it takes me about like a few hours to create even better artworks. And I could churn these out pretty quickly within a day if I'm like really inspired and an idea comes to my mind. However, sometimes it does take me a little bit longer if it's something that takes more work. Like for example, illustrations. There's just a lot of elements going on. There's backgrounds, there's gestures, just stuff like clothing, armor. The composition's a little harder. There's a lot of things that I'm just not used to drawing in there, and so it just takes me a lot longer. But the point I'm trying to get across is that if it's taking you a long time to create an artwork at the beginning and you think that this is kind of hopeless, it is not hopeless. You just need to continue going and doing this, and eventually you'll get faster and more comfortable drawing at this certain skill level, and then eventually move on to another skill level, and then that's going to take you a while to make one art piece, but then after a while you're going to start turning those out in like less than a day. And then you can move on to even higher skill levels, and that's gonna take longer, and so on and so on and so on. So this is hard at first. Just expect it to be difficult, but just keep going, and you are going to continue learning. You're going to continue learning your own art style, your own editing style. I'm going to leave a link to my TikTok and my Instagram so that y'all can kind of see what my style is. If y'all want to copy my style, just go for it. As long as we're getting our artwork out there and it honors God and it serves God and it serves others to bring people into the light of God, then that's all that really matters at the end of the day. So that is it for this video. If you made it this far and you want to join me on this quest, consider subscribing and leaving a like for the algorithm. And that is it for this video. Peace.